Hi Spicewood kiddos, it's Miss Rayborn here. Today before we get started, we're going to read a book together called I Will Be Fierce. And this book was written by Bea Birdsong and it was illustrated by Nidhi Chauhani. So I'm going to switch over so you can see all of the pictures and things. I can't wait for you to see and hear the great things that happen, and it's going to inspire us to make some artwork. So here we go. Today I Will Be Fierce by Bea Birdsong, and Nidhi Chauhani is our illustrator. It says, today I will be fierce. I will answer the call to adventure. So look, she's woken up, she's stretching, and she's reaching and looking outside because she knows it's gonna be a great day. I will put on my armor, which is her fancy look. She has a rainbow sweater, and I will fill my treasure chest. Look, her backpack is full. She's filling the things in her backpack. She's got books and crayons and pencils and bubbles. Ooh, math flashcards. She's got some glue. She's packing all of her things into her backpack, her treasure chest. I will go forth to explore new worlds. So she's saying goodbye for the day. Here she goes. She's headed outside. Today I will be fierce. I will take on the monsters that stand in my way. Look at what the monsters are. There's some dogs that are being walked by a dog walker. Although it kind of looks like the dogs are walking the dog walker, not the other way around, doesn't it? Where does she have to get to? Look at this, to the school bus stop. I will drive back the dragons. Look what she did. Remember, she put some bubbles in her backpack. I wondered what she was going to do with that. And she used the bubbles to distract the dogs. She's calling them the dragons. I will dare to walk with giants. Look at this. She's waiting at the school bus stop. And look, there's so many big kids. Talking to the big kids can be a little bit tricky because you're not sure if they're going to talk back to you or be nice to you. So she's going to be brave, she said, and walk with the giants. I will charge the many-headed serpent. Look, the many-headed serpent is the bus because all the kids' heads are poking out on the bus. Today, I will be fierce. I will chart my own course. So look, everybody's in the hallway all going this way, and she's saying, I'm going to go off my own direction. Can anybody see where she's headed right here? It says she's going to the library. I will climb the mountain of knowledge. Look at all the books she has because she wants to learn all different kinds of new things. It says, I will trick the guardian of wisdom into revealing her secrets. Do you think the librarian is the guardian of wisdom? What do you think she has to trick her into? I'm looking at look at this sign. It says limit 5 books. Do you think she has more than 5? I think so too. She does. I will solve the mysteries of the unknown. So look, she's got all kinds of things to learn. And then it looks to me like she's drawing her own comics. Today I will be fierce. I will break away from the ordinary. So she's in art class and she's being very creative. I love that. There's trees and grass and little fish in the sea and a kitty cat over here. And she drew, I think this is herself, a self-portrait. And look at this, she's on a beach on a pretty day and she's riding on a turtle. Not on a horse or a bicycle or something, but on a turtle. I will stand up for my beliefs. So look at this. It took me a minute to figure out what was happening. So all these kids over here at this table are looking over here. Look at this little girl is even sticking out her tongue. They're making sad, mean faces. And this sweet little girl over here, look, she has her hand kind of by her face. You can tell she's looking really sad. I think they're not being very kind to her. So she said, look, I will stand up for my beliefs. She doesn't agree that that's an okay way to act. And I will build new bridges. So she came over to the empty table and she's saying, I'm going to make a new friend. I'm going to let these people act this way towards this sweet girl. I'm going to do what I know is right and follow my own beliefs and values. And instead, I'm going to go over and I'm going to make a new friend. I'm going to bring my friend with me and we're going to be welcoming and we're going to join her. What awesome action. I will search for light in the darkness. So look, it's raining outside and everybody's hiding under the little portico to keep from getting wet. And she said, you know what? I am going to have fun with the rain. I'm going to look for the light and I'm going to go play in the puddles. Even if it is a rainy day, I'm going to go have some fun in the puddles. Today, I will be fierce. I will claim my victory. Oh, look, it's show and tell time. And I think she's saying who wants to go first, which can be a little bit tricky sometimes. I will conquer my fears and I will make my voice heard. Sometimes it's hard for people to speak up, right? And to take the turn to raise their voice up and to share something. And she's saying, I'm going to be brave. I'm going to do it. Let's see. I will be the hero of my own story. So look, she's getting up for show and tell to tell her own story. And she has a book here that says Cato Comic. I think she's into making her own comics. And so she was brave and she got up and she's sharing the comic that she made herself. Today, I will be fierce. I will lead the way home. So look at this. I love this. The friend that she made in the cafeteria. Now she's sitting with her on the bus so that she also feels included. And then I will rest. That's pretty important. She's had a very big day of making awesome choices and being inclusive to others, being kind and caring. So sometimes when we've had a big day, we need to rest. For tomorrow, I will be fierce again. So she's saying, tomorrow I'm going to go out and I'm going to do it all over again. That's awesome. Look, she's opening up her curtains for a new day. So I hope you enjoyed listening to I Will Be Fierce by Bea Birdsong and illustrations by Nidhi Chahani. Let's talk about what kind of artwork we could make to be inspired by this. Okay, kiddos, so to be inspired by our awesome book, I Will Be Fierce, we are going to make an artwork that declares what we're going to do. What kind of action are we going to take? So I've gathered together my art supplies, and I have a piece of paper. This is just a piece of copy paper. And I have some crayons. Mine are not in a box anymore, but that's okay. Or you could have markers with you, or you could have colored pencils with you, whatever works for you. Just a pencil and some kind of a paper, and then also you'll want something for adding color later. So I'm going to put those off to the side, and I'm going to start with my piece of paper. Now, the first thing I have to decide is what I'm going to declare myself to do. So the book is called I Will Be Fierce. And so I'm going to say I will be is how I'm going to start out my phrase. And then I'm going to pick 3 things that I'm going to be that are going to inspire me to take action. And I might need to think for a little bit about what those things are that are important to me. Maybe I want to make a list to myself. Maybe up here on the top of my paper, I might make a list to myself of things that I want to be. So as an art teacher, one of the things that I always want to be is creative. I'm going to put that on my list. As a kind person and a caring person, I always want to be kind and inclusive to others. I know how much it means to me when people are kind to me, so that's really important to me. Another thing that is important to Miss Rayborn is being a risk taker. Trying new things can be hard, and sometimes I need a little bit of a reminder to be a risk taker. Let's see, what else? Sometimes Miss Rayborn finds herself in positions where people are not being kind to others. And I can be kind, but the other thing I can be is a peacekeeper. I can be the person who helps those people understand each other better so that maybe they could be friends someday. What else could I be? I could be a risk taker. I can be creative. I would like to be imaginative for sure. Let's see. I'm just kind of making a list of things that I would like to agree to be. Now, once you have a list of 4 or 5 or maybe even 10 words that you would like to strive to be, I want you to choose 3 to start with. So I think I'm going to stick with I think I like my first three the most. Sometimes it's funny how the first three things that come out might be the ones that you like the most. So I am going to say I will be, and I'm just practicing on the back of my paper, I will be creative, I will be kind, and I will be a risk taker. Now, if you need to, you can always ask a friend or an adult of how to spell these things, okay? So now that I've made a plan for what I'm going to write, I'm gonna turn my paper over to the other side. And I'm gonna draw for myself some lines to separate my paper. Now, it's up to you whether you want your paper to be like this, tall and skinny, or whether you want it to be like this, side to side. I think Miss Rayborn is going to go side to side because it will be easier for you to see. If I go tall and skinny, it doesn't quite all fit on the paper. So I'm gonna decide to go this direction. I'm gonna draw myself some wavy lines across. So I need 4 sections on my paper because I need a section to say I will be, and then I need a section, so this is line 1, creative is line 2, line 3 is kind, and line 4 is risk taker. So I need to draw, let's look, 1, 2, 3 lines to separate those, okay? I'm not going to have straight lines. I think I'm gonna be creative, like I said I want it to be. So I know I need 3 lines on my paper. Let's see if I put one about here, one about here, and one about here. Will that be about equal space? I think so, pretty close. Maybe I'll make it a little bit lower. And I'm not gonna make mine straight. I'm gonna be creative. That was one of my goals, right? And, ooh, I made that one super curvy and bumpy on this side. And then this one. So they have kind of a shape to them. Hopefully you guys can see that. So next I'm gonna write out my statement. So on the top line, I'm going to write I, and it's gonna go from edge to edge, and I'm gonna leave some space. W, I, L, L, and then I'm gonna leave some space, and I'm gonna put in the B. Now, Miss Rayborn is gonna use a marker to show you what this kind of looks like because it might be a little bit hard to see. So I'm gonna trace over that line that I drew, that kind of bumpy line. And then I'm gonna use a marker for this because I want it to be really kind of fat. I will have to make sure that they can see the top part of the L there. B. Now, you do not have to illustrate your fierceness the same way Miss Rayborn is. Maybe you just want to write out your letters in some sort of fancy, fun way. This is just an awesome opportunity or something you could try if you're having trouble thinking of how you would illustrate them. So I said, I will be, let's double check. What did I say? Creative, kind, and a risk taker. So I'm going to start with creative here. And I'm going to do my best to make it fit from the top to the bottom. So a C, R, E, A, T, there's another I, V, E. Now I want to see, did this fit? So I'm going to go ahead again and I'm going to use my marker and I'm going to outline my letters. T, I, B, E. Now, of course, you can use any word that inspires you to action. Your words, I'm sure, won't be creative, kind, and risk taker. And that's okay because your words should be important and special to you. So my next one was kind. So it's a little bit short of a word. So I'm going to start a little farther in and I'm making it go all the way to the top. There's another I. Let's see, N and a D. So here's my K, my I. Have to make it thick so people don't think it's just running into there. My N and my D. And then I'm going to trace that last line one more time. Here it goes along here. And let me remind myself, what was I going to put for my third thing? A risk taker. That's a long one. So here I go. I'm starting way over here. R, I, S, K, T, look at that big tall A, K, E, whoop, and I'm gonna squeeze my R, my second R over here. And then I'm gonna use my black marker. You could use a crayon, you could use a colored pencil if that's what you have. If you're feeling inspired to use, if you're at home and you want to use things like oil pastels or watercolors, that's a great idea too. So I'm just tracing over the letters of my action statement. So it says, I will be creative, kind, and a risk taker. Now, if I have any little places where pencil lines are still showing through, I can go back and erase them if I've made any little oopses, because I don't want those to show in my final piece of artwork. Now, it'll be up to you how you decide to add color to your piece of art. Miss Rayborn thinks that I am going to use some crayons, and I think I'm going to make each little block its own different color. Let me show you what I mean. I think I'm going to start with this beautiful sort of purpley pink, and I'm going to make the space inside of here all the way to the outside edge a color. So it's almost like it's filling up a block of color, and it may get a little bit on the table as I'm coloring. That's okay. I can always wipe it off later. So that spot there is going to be this beautiful magenta color. Maybe I'll make a pattern for myself. So I'm going to put that one off to the side because that was the first one I used. Then I think I might go to an orange. So I'm going to make the space in between these letters this beautiful orangey color. And I think I'm not going to include these little guys. I'm going to make those their own color. So I'm going to put this one down because I'm making myself a pattern with my colors. And I think I might go to a yellow. I think the yellow is going to be inside of the letters, like that. Then I think maybe a yellowy, orangey, kind of a green. I have a couple of choices. I could use this one or this one. I think this one looks a little too close to be able to see it. So I'm going to use this light lemony green color. And I'm going to fill it in. Now, of course, when you're writing out your action phrase of what you will be, everyone is going to start with that sentence, that phrase, those 3 words, I will be. You could illustrate or draw what you're going to be any way that you want to. You do not have to draw it out like Miss Rayborn. If you know how to draw and write with bubble letters, you could do that. If you want to illustrate your words and letters by drawing them instead of writing them, you could do that. Ooh, I'm gonna go on to a turquoisey kind of color, and I've got to get up there in that little spot in between the edge of the I and the L. Working my way across. I think now I'm gonna go on to a blue kind of a color. Ooh, look, that one was very close. See how close those look together? I think I might change my mind. I'm gonna find, look, I needed a darker one because those just looked too much the same, I'm realizing. I'm gonna put that off to the side because I'm collecting mine over here for the pattern that I'm making. And I think this side is gonna be purple. Look, it's just one little spot here. And then I think I might go on to pink. And then I might go to red. And then I think I'm going to begin my pattern all over again. So I would go back to the beginning. Here are my crayons all laid out for myself. And I would start back with my very first color that I used. Now, you of course don't have to use a pattern with your colors. I may actually only use this pattern of colors maybe on the top and on the bottom. I could use it on every other row. I could use it each time if I want to. It's really kind of up to me. I could even continue my pattern as I go down. Maybe we'll try that. Let's see here in a second. Getting this spot filled in face to face. So I stopped with this one here. What if I just picked up the next one and made that color, this space, the next color, going down? That's a way I can handle my pattern. And then I go to the next one. So when you're drawing your action statement, I will be what? I want you to think about what inspires you, what helps you when you're having kind of a tough day or you're feeling down. What actions of others make you feel good that you could do to help others? What other concerns do you have about our world or our environment that you could stand up against or work towards? What kind of action can you take, and what kind of way could you express that? Maybe you could say, I will be a person who stands up for the earth and for recycling because I know how important it is to take care of our earth. Maybe you could say, I will be a good friend because you've experienced having a great friend in your life and you know how important that is. Maybe you could say something about focusing yourself when you're at school or at home. Sometimes it can be really difficult to focus yourself and pay attention, especially if you're at home, I would think. Trying to focus for school at home when you're right there next to all of your things has to definitely be a challenge. So I want you to set some goals for yourself. I will be. And I want you to pick out at least 3 things that are going to be an action goal for you. How are you going to act and behave? And then start to draw them out. Miss Rayborn is going to continue adding color to mine as I go across. I got to the end of my pattern, so I'm going to go back to the very beginning. I think that's working well for me. And I'm so excited to see what kind of artwork you make. Miss Rayborn will show you at the end what mine turned out to look like. And I hope you enjoy spending a little bit of time making and creating. I know that's one of the things that makes me feel really good and balanced. So I hope you enjoy your time illustrating your sentence inspired by our book, I Will Be Fierce, where you're showing how you want to take action and how you want to act to affect the world. So, bye for now. Okay, Spicewood kiddos, so today we were inspired by the book, I Will Be Fierce, and I made my statement, I will be creative, I will be kind, and I will be a risk taker. And then I illustrated my statement of what my goals were for myself, about how I was going to take action. And I think I'm gonna hang this in a place, I made it really bright and colorful. I think I'm gonna hang it in a place where I can see it every day, maybe near my desk, or even next to my bed when I wake up in the morning to sort of inspire me to action and remind me what my goals are for myself and how I would like to act and how I would like to behave and how I would like to take action in the world to help make it a better place. So I've had so much fun making and creating with you. It has been a blast. I hope you had a good time illustrating your action statement. And for now, see you later.